Hi everyone, Andrew here. A lot of people have been asking me what my process is for painting. I thought I'd put together a short clip on what I do, from the raw materials that I use all the way through to the finishing touches. I guess the first place to start is the surface I paint on. I paint on a linen which I import from Belgium. It provides me with a really nice smooth surface and great archival qualities, i.e. it'll last a lot longer than me. I buy heavy duty pine stretcher bars which I use to wrap my canvas. I use a typical staple gun with stretcher pliers to attach my canvas to the stretcher bars. When I stretch my canvas, I start in the centre, moving out to the corners and trying to keep the tension as even as possible all the way across so that there's no ripples in the final product. Once the canvas has been stretched, it's time to add some layers of gesso. I typically use 3 to 4 layers. Each layer goes on perpendicular to the previous layer so that it's on as evenly as possible. Once these are dry, I'll then give them a good sand. I like to get the canvas nice and smooth so that no lines show through on my painting. I then start sketching. I use a 2H pencil, which is great because it doesn't smudge. Being a left-hander, I rest my hand on the canvas quite a bit, and this is a great way of eliminating that. We then move into the blocking stage. This is typically trying to use as big a brush as possible and covering as much ground as possible. A particular failing I have is that I often get caught up in the detail of the picture, and this may relate to the detailed drawings I do underneath. So it's something that I constantly fight, but we get there. Once the blocking is done, it's into the modelling phase. Slightly smaller brushes and a bit more detail. I get lost in this stage for quite some time, which is okay because it all impacts on the final product. Quite a few different layers can be utilised, getting these bits and pieces looking right before I get to the final stage, which is the final touches, and this can take quite some time because I'll end up painting a bit, doing something to fix something and leave it for a wee while and come back to it again and see I don't like this bit now, so then I'll work on that. So it's a constant stage of observing and fixing up, and this can take quite some time until I've finally got a product where I don't want to change it anymore, or I don't think I can change it anymore until I've got a final painting, and then it's down to storing it before doing a final varnish and hanging on a wall.